Hello there beautiful humans, I'm RidersDX and today we're going to be talking about the Mario movie. And so as you all may or may not have heard, the Mario movie has officially been delayed to April of next year. But what you all might not know is that the reason they decided to delay it was because apparently they did some early screenings of the Mario movie and there was just something about the movie that Nintendo wasn't into, and so they want to go back to the drawing board and make some changes to it just to make sure it's ready for its release. And a lot of people have theorized that this is because of how successful the Sonic movie in particular has been this month, and Nintendo just wants to make sure that Sonic doesn't completely upshow them when this movie comes out. But I mean, come on, let Sonic have something please, Nintendo. But what's really interesting now is that apparently a bunch of plot details from that early screening have leaked via an anonymous user. At least I think they're anonymous. I mean, I don't know why they showed their true identity, because Nintendo would definitely come for them. So in this video, I've gathered up 10 surprising details that we've heard from these leaks, and I've actually divided them up into non-spoilery stuff and then stuff that definitely treads more into spoiler territory. And so feel free to keep watching just to hear some more generalized details, but I'll definitely let you know when the spoiler details definitely start coming on, just so you can avoid them in case you want to be surprised when the movie comes out. We don't know for sure if this is true or not, and so take all this with a grain of salt, but I will say from reading all these facts, considering the fact that Illumination is making this movie, everything that's listed here makes a lot of sense to me. So take that as you will, but also know that like if these are true, these are also subject to change because the movie is being delayed now, and so obviously they're going to rework some of the movie. We don't exactly know what they're going to rework, but there's a good chance that the script is part of that. So fact number one, we got some details on the art style, and so it's described as a cartoonish art style full of life and color, similar to the look of Hotel Transylvania. So this is absolutely no surprise to me whatsoever. Illumination is great at making colorful, child-friendly movies, and I feel like that is going to suit a Mario movie like really well. And so I had no doubt that the visuals would be nice no matter what direction they went in. However, at number two, we got some details about the character designs of Mario and Luigi. And so Mario and Luigi actually have slight redesigns, as they start off with more worn and dusty suits with a muted color scheme. And so that's definitely going to be a little bit interesting, but it'll be a nice change of pace for Mario and Luigi, I guess. And also because they both will switch over to the more iconic colors later in the movie, so that'll be a great little transformation, kind of like setting the stage for the movie and having them evolve eventually into what we know them as best. That's kind of what Sonic did as well. Like Sonic wasn't really truly Sonic when he first came on, but as we kept watching, by the end of the Sonic movie 2, it was full on Sonic. So I'm looking forward to seeing that transformation. But it does say that Mario starts off with a bluish purple shirt instead of brown, and Luigi has green overalls and a bluish purple shirt as well. At number three, we have a quick detail about how they're approaching the voice acting for Mario and Luigi. And so Mario and Luigi have Brooklyn accents, which is very interesting, but kind of makes sense to me because I can't imagine Chris Pratt or Charlie, I don't know what his last name is, unfortunately, Charlie Day I think it is. I can't imagine them doing Italian accents. I think it would be like almost offensive. So I'm glad that they're kind of sticking to something that makes a little bit more sense for the voice actors and also doesn't seem so tacky, because I feel like, oh, an Italian plumber, Italian accent, like seems all so obvious and things like that. And so I just think that that's going to be a bit of a better approach, just to make sure they're not overdoing it with that. And number four, the humor is described as very punny slash meta, but there's no dabbing, fart jokes, etc. And so I'm actually a little bit surprised about that, to be honest, because that's pretty much where like all these like films are going in terms of direction. I mean, I just got back from watching the Sonic movie 2 a couple weeks ago, and that movie was full of like that punny slash meta humor, but it also had dabbing, it had fart jokes, it had like whatever that dance is you want to call it, it had all those things. And so I don't know, I'm a little surprised that they're not incorporating that here, but I'm a little bit thankful actually, just because I know it's humor I don't really have a problem with per se, but it's definitely humor that I would rather not see, just because I think it's overdone and there's not really much else you can do with it beyond the fact, oh look, they farted, oh that's hilarious, yada yada yada. And number five, there are fight scenes in this movie, but they were described as well choreographed and fast paced. And so that sounds great to me because Mario is a video game franchise after all, and you know, fight scenes are definitely going to be something that's really important for any kind of video game franchise, unless it's like Animal Crossing or something like that. But making sure you have really well choreographed fight scenes and that they really captivate the audience is going to be really important. Even though Mario is just a plumber, Mario definitely has a lot of fighting skills that he's shown throughout the years, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that translates onto the big screen. At number 6, this is something that I have very mixed feelings about, but apparently there will be musical numbers in this film, and so it's not surprising to me because I think Illumination definitely has a lot of films with musical numbers, but at the same time, Mario and his friends having musical numbers, I think that's definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to, and it definitely makes the film seem much more geared towards kids rather than longtime fans of Mario, which I understand why they're doing that, but at the same time, Mario is such a huge legacy franchise. There's going to be people of all ages watching this movie. You don't want to put all your eggs in a basket of the kids, you know, you definitely want to make sure it appeals to like older people too, and I don't know, I'm thinking about the idea of seeing Mario and friends just singing in Mushroom Kingdom, and I'm like, well, I guess it's not the cheesiest thing Mario has done, but I definitely am not looking forward to it, unless the numbers are great, you know, maybe the music is actually like out of this world, and then I'll just eat my own words, so we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, for the last 4 details, these are all going to be plot details, and so if you want to avoid this, then go ahead and jump to this timestamp where I'll talk about my overall thoughts on everything I've read so far, non-spoilers, but you have been warned, so let's go. At number 7, we got details on Spike. So I don't really know too much about Spike, so I'm just gonna kind of read out what is said over here, but he's a villainous character that shows up at the beginning and then at the end to congratulate them, and Spike is a greedy slash bossy character. I think he plays the boss of Mario and Luigi in this film, but I know he's like a really old character and I just don't know too much about him, unfortunately, so definitely let me know who he is in the comment section below if you can. At number 8, we've got a whole bunch of other characters that are slated to appear in this film, or at least be name dropped. And so Donkey Kong Jr., Pauline, and Toadsworth are rumored to appear. Daisy is name dropped. There's also female Toads in the film, and there's a bunch of Goombas, Koopas, Hammer Bros, Bullet Bills and their towels, Bonsai Bills, Lakitus, Ninjas, and Fuzzies in the movie. I know I mispronounced some of those. I'm really sorry. I'm really trying to get more into the Mario franchise. At number 9, so this really isn't just one bullet point, this is just a bunch of bullet points like put together because these are all plot details basically, and I didn't really want to like spread these out everywhere because I think this is best to go through in the succession order and just kind of get a sense of what the movie is going to entail. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and redo all these details and then we'll just discuss them all at the end. So the movie begins with Charles Martinet narration as he goes through the different jobs Mario had before joining the Wrecking Crew, and then he fights Donkey Kong and saves Mario in the real world, which is still animated in New Dino City, and Mario even gets a golden hammer in the fight. So as a result, Mario is famous in the present. After hearing reports of gorillas and turtles fighting though, he goes into the sewers to investigate, and there's a lot of gorillas on the ground. Some are partying, others are playing drums. Mario then runs into an older cranky Donkey Kong and tries to communicate, but can't since he can't speak gorilla. They both end up falling through a pipe into the Mushroom Kingdom. So that's something that was really interesting to me, is that they starting off in like the normal real world and then they get into the Mushroom Kingdom. So the first song of the movie has Bowser singing and we see his younger years plus his desire to take over the kingdom. So I'm guessing we're gonna get a bit of a minor origin story of Bowser at this point, which will be really cool to see, I guess. Bowser then kidnaps Princess Peach, blows up Mushroom Kingdom and heads for his ship. Mario and Captain Toad then go on a journey to stop Bowser, and then the second song is about plumbing. So I'm guessing Mario will take the lead on that one. Oh gosh, we gotta hear Chris Pratt sing. Oh, that's great. Luigi is worried about Mario since he has been gone for a while and investigates the sewers, and then he ends up in Mushroom Kingdom, specifically the Forbidden Forest, and meets Yoshi. Meanwhile, Mario meets up with Bowser and fights him, but is then defeated. Kamek drops Mario off the ship into the Forbidden Forest, and he meets up with Luigi and Yoshi. They get new costumes with their iconic colors at this point, and then they go back to Bowser's castle. Eventually, they encounter 3 Bowser clones that mostly tell jokes and shapeshift into a gross combination of enemies after being defeated. That sounds kind of weird. I wonder if there's more to that. There's obviously a lot more to everything we're reading right now, but I'm just going through it, trying to to make sense of it as best as I can. And then before the final battle, there's a song where essentially everyone sings, including Toad singing about saving the princess, Mario and Luigi about not losing hope, Bowser and Peach arguing to the beat of the song. I mean, yeah, it sounds like an Illumination movie. Kamek gives Bowser a mushroom which causes him to grow. Bowser then chases Mario and Luigi through a pipe maze across different locations such as a desert, ocean, forest, and a cloudy area. The Fire Flower and Superstar power-ups appear during this, but not anywhere else. Yoshi fights with Kamek since they have some history. That sounds very interesting. Kamek uses his wand to alter the environment and such. The last bit of the chase has them tricking Bowser to go into the last pipe and end up in his own lava pit. It's a shame that they didn't have Mario jump on Bowser's head, but whatever. Then Mario decides to start up a plumbing service in the Mushroom Kingdom. And so that's a lot to take in. There's just so much going on, and obviously this is a very rough outline of what this person allegedly saw in their early screening. But I will say that it definitely sounds like an Illumination movie, and I just don't think there's enough here to really judge the movie. I mean, you really have to see it for yourself to see how it's going to turn out. But the fact that there's musical numbers, the fact that there's 2 worlds that this movie is going to be playing with, I think that's going to be really interesting to see personally. But definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this. But the last bullet point, number 10, there is a post-credit scene and it shows Bowser's skeleton. Oof. That's going to be really interesting to see, I must say. Hopefully it doesn't scare any kids, but it does kind of tease that there will be a second movie, I guess. I mean, Bowser's skeleton, that's pretty morbid. Doesn't really seem like Bowser's going to come back from that, but obviously Bowser will come back from that, because if this movie is a success, then obviously Bowser will come back from that. And so, I don't know, we'll just have to see. But okay, that's pretty much everything I have to say about this movie in terms of everything that was found. So my personal thoughts are that it definitely sounds interesting, but I'm not really sure if what we see here is going to make a great movie, to be honest. I mean, it's very unfair to judge a movie based off of these bullet points. This is basically just someone's account of what happened during the movie. So it's really unfair, so I'm going to refrain from really judging the movie, but it definitely takes an interesting direction than what I was anticipating, which I wasn't really anticipating anything because I had no idea what to expect from this movie. But it definitely sounds like it'll be a fun time nonetheless, and I'm sure that lots of kids will love it. But I'm just hoping that the movie still makes an attempt to appeal to older audiences, because I think that's the key with these video game movies, is that yes, you definitely want to appeal to kids, but you also want to make sure that the longtime fans are having fun with the movie as well, because they'll spread word about the movie as well, and your movie will just have really wide appeal overall. And I think that's why the Sonic movies have been so successful, especially the second one, because it really does appeal to older Sonic fans. And I think this Mario movie franchise has to aim for the same thing if they want to make sure that they're really appealing to their really wide fan base, because there's so many Mario fans of so many different ages and eras that this Mario movie has the golden opportunity to be one of the biggest things ever. But I don't know, it sounds like it's geared a little bit too much towards kids at the moment, so we'll just have to see when the movie comes out. But definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and yeah, thank you all so much. If you want more content about the Mario movie, then check out this video in the top left corner where I talk about my thoughts on the voice actors. Special shout out to my patrons, Team Row Sonic Gamer, Andrew Coughlin, Robbie Harrison, Trash Q, and Claw84. These are my patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. This is Riders, riding out.